Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Akmal Danish bin Muhammad Yunus. I will be presenting about the teacher's perspective on student motivation, classroom management and psychological support in EDU550. Objective of study is to examine teachers' perspective and strategies in enhancing students' learning motivation and supporting students who are experiencing motivational difficulties, and to explore teachers' approaches and strategies in managing classroom behavior effectively, and lastly to understand the teacher approaches in supporting student emotional and psychological needs that influence learning. So here are the research question. Basically refer to the research objective itself, which is there are three focus: classroom management, motivational and psychological support. So here are the literature review and theories that I've been make a research. So this article are basically my references. So justification on topic selections. The articles were selected because they focus on the importance of teacher-student relationships in enhancing students' academic motivation and engagement. They provide evidence based on classroom management strategy that helps teachers manage student behavior effectively and create a positive learning environment. The article also highlight how excellent teaching practices and emotional supports contribute to students' confidence, well-being, and overall learning experience. So synthesis of findings in the article 1, with what we find is positive students teacher relationship significantly enhance students' academic motivation and engagement. Emotional support, trust, and teachers' approachability contribute to students' willingness to participate in learning. And the research method is quantitative and correlational research, examining the relationship between teacher support and student motivation. In the article 2, excellent teacher manage misbehavior through positive strategies rather than punishment. Also, there are positive communication, mutual respect, and relationship building reduce classroom disruptions. And the research method is qualitative study using interviews and classroom observations of experienced teachers. The other two articles, in the article 3, the finding is student engagement at the middle school level is strongly influenced by teacher supports and classroom environment. Behavioral, emotional, and cognitive engagement must occur together to sustain students' interest in learning. So the research method is empirical and conceptual analysis, focusing on student engagement among middle school learners. In the findings, effective classroom management relies on proactive evidence-based on strategy rather than reactive punishments, which is there are clear rules, consistent routines, and positive reinforcement reduce disruptive behaviors. The teacher's management skill directly influence classroom climate and student engagement, which is the research method using the literature review, synthesizing evidence-based classroom management practices. So these are the relevant theories. First one is behavioral perspective, which is operant conditioning. Positive reinforcement, the use of rewards such as tokens, stickers, and verbal praises to encourage students to repeat desirable behaviors. Second, humanistic perspective, using the Maslow hierarchy of needs, belongingness and esteem needs, assigning responsibility or roles to students, especially those who are disengaged, to foster a sense of ownership and belonging within a school community. Third one is the expectancy, which is the value theory, utility value, helping students see the real world connection of their studies. By explaining the long-term benefits of education for future careers and life challenge, educators increase the perceived value of the curriculum. And the last but not least is the social constructivism, which is the using the Vygotsky scaffolding. Peer scaffolding, implementing strategic seating arrangements where high achieving students are paired with lower achieving students to facilitate collaborative learning and peer support. Active engagement, using social tools like group discussion and gamified activities to keep students involved in the learning process. So now we move to the methodology part in my presentation. So for sampling, I asked the teacher to collaborate with me for an interview. So the first teacher is Sir Azlan bin Ghassan, which is their 13 years of teaching experience teaching in physical education and Islamic studies. And the second teacher is Sir Muhammad Nabil bin Abdullah, 4 years of teaching experience and teaching in mathematics as his core subjects. So the data collection is being collected from the Google Meet call, and the teacher's answers, all the answers directly into the transcription and will be recorded for the thematic analysis. So the method user is qualitative. So we are moved to findings, data analysis and discussion. So these are the interview questions. there are 9 questions of every written objectives. RO1 have 3, RO2 have 3, RO3 also have 3. So what is the similarities after we interviewed the teachers? First, they talk about the digital and active instruction strategies. Both teachers emphasize moving away from traditional talk and chalk by incorporating digital technology and active student participation to spark interest. Second, positive reinforcement. Both respondents rely on extrinsic motivators, specifically verbal praises and tangible rewards, to encourage desired behaviors. Third one is proactive classroom management. Both teachers agree that discipline must be established from the very first day of school to prevent behavioral issues before they start. And now we want to look at the differences. Differences in the social structuring part. Teacher Azlan emphasized the strategic physical arrangement of the classroom to facilitate informal tutoring. However, Teacher Nabil focuses more on dynamic social interactions through active learning activities. In the motivational narrative and context, Teacher Azlan used narrative about future consequences to create awareness for their students. However, Teacher Nabil adopts an immediate behavioral approach by providing constant praise even for small efforts. Now, in this slide, we want to see what is the specific points in every written questions. In the RQ1, we talk about the humanistic perspective, social perspective on motivation, and many more. However, in RQ2, we talk about the classroom physical environments and proactive managements. In RQ3, we have the mastery orientations, addressing achievement problems, and humanistic perspective, same as RQ1. Now, here are the supporting findings with evidence from literature and theories. RO1, student motivation and engagements. In the findings, students show higher engagement when teachers create a safe, supportive, and approachable learning environments. Theory and literature, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a sense of belonging and emotional safety is essential before effective learning can occur. Jasmine and Lim, 2014, students' academic motivations increases when teachers are perceived as caring and supportive. In the RO2, classroom behavior and management, teachers who set a clear expectation and maintain consistency experience fewer behavioral problems. Theory and literatures, Kunin's wittiness or awareness, teachers' awareness and timely responses prevent misbehavior before it escalates. Everson and Weinstein, 2006, preventive classroom management create a positive and well-controlled learning environment. Now, in the RO3, emotional and psychological support, teachers play a critical role in supporting students' emotional and psychological. In RO3, emotional supports and psychological supports. In RO3, emotional and psychological supports. In the findings, teachers play a critical role in supporting students' emotional and psychological well-being. Emotional supports from teachers increases students' confidence, participation, and positive classroom behavior. In the theory and literature, self-determination theory, DC and Ryan, emotional supports enhances students' sense of autonomy and competence. Wenzel, 2012, teacher care and emotional supports are linked to higher engagement and positive behavior. Now we will watch a video of the evidence of my interviews. The first teacher is Teacher Azlan.
Contohnya apa yang saya sering amalkan adalah murid-murid yang bermasalah ni saya akan panggil untuk membantu saya dalam kerja-kerja pengurusan sekolah. Contohnya mengemas sekolah sukan ataupun mengemas surau ataupun musola, membantu guru untuk menguruskan case sistem, jadi contohnya menjadi usher untuk hari sukan sekolah. Banyak lagi contoh yang kita boleh berikan. Cumanya apa yang saya tekankan di sini adalah mereka ni sebenarnya perlukan perhatian.
The second teacher is Teacher Nabil.
Cikgu akan menetapkan peraturan kelas sejak awal supaya murid ni jelaslah tentang apa yang boleh dan tak boleh lakukan. Cikgu juga akan terangkan sebab di sebalik peraturan tersebut supaya cikgu boleh bagi tahu diorang, bagi diorang lebih faham dan tak rasa terpaksa. Selain itu juga, cikgu akan bersikap konsisten lah dan adil dalam menguatkuasakan peraturan ni. Student ni sama, kena adil lah. Bila murid dah nampak cikgu ni berlaku adil, mereka akan lebih mudah menghormati saya sebagai guru.
In summary, the study demonstrates that effective teaching relies on a balance between firm discipline and emotional support. Teachers who adopt an authoritative style, firm but warm, and integrate behavioral such as rewards and humanistics belongingness theory successfully enhance student motivations. When students feel emotionally safe, their academic engagement improve naturally. So, in the future research, the first one, investigate the long-term impact of reward system on students' intrinsic motivations. Second, explore the roles of AI in assisting teachers with digital behavior management. Third, compare the effectiveness of these psychological strategies between urban and rural school settings. Conclusion for the recommendations. First, Ministry of Education's JPN, PPD, Organised Professional Development CPD course focusing on practical educational psychology and classroom management skills rather than just a theory. Second, parents and community. They act as strategic partners by supporting school disciplines at home and helping students understand the real-world value of education. Third, school administrators. Foster a school culture that prioritizes students' well-being and provide sufficient technological facilities to support active learning for students. And the last one is the teachers, of course. They must maintain awareness, stay updated with modern student psychology, and remain consistent in enforcing fair classroom rules.